my next guest became a different type of frontline worker. He was the first person you saw at one of the nation's largest big box chains, and his job as a health ambassador required him to enforce retail and state-mandated mask orders. His position was created as a result of the pandemic. He's only 18 years old. He took the job to make some money, as you can imagine any 18-year-old would, but he says he wasn't trained for what happened next, and it may have put him in pretty dangerous situations. And Christopher Vanderpool joins us from his home in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And Christopher, let me tell you, I just got a glimpse of your room. I mean, if this doesn't scream an 18-year-old kid, you've got your twin bed, your rocket, I mean, just as adorable as can be. And your job was just to tell adults and anyone else who came in that they needed to submit to you did a temperature check, right? You were assigned to take temperatures?
No, Tamron. We only had to ask our customers to put on their masks.
That's it.
That was the extent of the
Okay,
role.
because I was originally told part of your job was also just to take the temperature check. So you just had to say, can you put on your mask?
Yes, that's right. The role of the health ambassador was created for the pandemic, just to ask our customers, to comply with our mask regulations. And in practice, it was implemented to a very limited success.
Well, I should note that your story is just about the specific location you were working at, but your experience, I know, is real because I've heard other people say they've had it. So you would ask people, and what was the common, I shouldn't say the common, were you shocked by the level of anger directed at you by some people?
I wasn't necessarily shocked by the level of anger that people demonstrated because even before we had this position, people were already angry. People were so tense in the early days of the pandemic that it was a common occurrence, yet it was one that always chilled you. It always scared you. And it was one that wasn't taken very seriously by my managers or corporate.
Did you receive any training on how to de-escalate since everyone kind of knew that the anger was there? Did anyone train you on how to deal with it or say immediately walk away, go to a safe room or anything that might be necessary?
No, and in fact, that speaks to the level of apathy demonstrated by my employer is that I was trained for 1 minute verbally by my manager as I was walked outside to do this position as health ambassador. We didn't receive any de-escalation training in that 1 minute. Instead, we were told just to let the customer inside the store and without a mask and let a manager know. We weren't told to leave our position or anything. And this speaks highly to the level of apathy that was expressed.
At some points, you thought you were actually in danger. Is that true?
Yes, and it was a constant threat of danger, one that is shared by myself and many other associates that I've spoken with. A lot of customers started coming into the store armed with guns and carrying knives very visibly on their body. And you never knew how a customer would react when you asked them to put on a mask. Some were respectful and they complied. Others weren't, and they gave violent anger responses. We've all seen the videos of
Yeah.
people being beat up for asking to put on a mask, and this was a threat that we all faced and we all shared concerns about.
And you couldn't take it anymore. You quit.
Yes, I felt that staying there presented a significant threat to myself, and I felt that that threat wasn't being addressed by my company.
It's heartbreaking, Christopher. Thank you so much for joining us. And did you get a job somewhere else? Are you working?
Yes, after I left and settled down for a little bit, I started working as a contact tracer for my state's collaborative. So I'm working again on the front lines to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Well, stay safe. I know the incident you just told us about was at a specific location, and hopefully we've all learned much more at this point in the journey of this. Thank you so much, Christopher.
Thank you so much for having me.